All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. It's a lovely morning, wonderful one. At that, it's a Wednesday morning and everything is gearing towards the Christmas. But then yesterday I told you guys that I'm going to have Coach Wilfred Shafa, the former gaffer of Cameroon, in the show today, but that plan has to be shelved right now because I have a big one in the studio. Someone who's defied the odds. Someone who's, for me, because I was part of the story from like 2016, if I'm not mistaken. At some point, everybody told me that this guy that I'm believing in is not worth it. Like, I mean, climb mountain. Who dash him? Where is he going to climb the mountains? Just guy that is just riding bicycle on the street. And I just wake up, I just think that somebody who's riding a bicycle on the street can become a mountain climber, and I'm asking that people should support him. That I'm not smart enough. That, we thought you're very smart. You're not smart enough. These are just normal scam that people pull. They just want to collect money from you, and then nothing would happen. I was touched anyway then. But then I quietly followed him from behind. I didn't have what it takes financially to support him, but I just quietly followed and I was observing him. I was looking forward to this day. Recently, I saw a movie on Netflix, 14 Peaks, if I'm not mistaken. And, before I could say anything, like a couple of days after seeing that 14 Peaks, this man showed up out of nowhere and sent me pictures and messages that he's on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. I can't imagine what the coincidence was, but I just saw that movie, and 3 days later, I got a message from him. It was a different thing. It was revealing. It was an enchanting moment for me. And today I have him in the studio. We're going to try and compress the story of about 8 or 10 years now into this hour of the show. You guys can join in. You can call in on the phone numbers 07025000069. You can also join in via WhatsApp. Send us a message on WhatsApp and tell us what you think as you're following the story. If the story moves you, inspire you, share whatever it is you've learned from the story, because there's so many life lessons. There's so many life lessons to learn from this story that we're going to share today. And thank you very much, Nesta Christian Fari. Is a brother. If you ever listen to this radio and you hear that liner where he said, if you touch the dial on Naked Bath, remember that reggae, the only reggae liner that we have is my brother in Canada, and I play a lot of his music lately on the show. He's a great guy, fantastic guy. He's a good musician. Like, when we talk about musician, we're not talking about just somebody who just sings on people's beats. We're talking about somebody who went to school to study music and knows music and understands music very, very well. Understand octaves and, everything, the gap in between sounds and tunes. He's a great guy. And not just that, he's a great supporter of this project. Okay? He's a great supporter. His name is Obi. He's a great supporter of this project. Without him, so many things that we've bought, we wouldn't have. I mean, funding us from wherever he is, struggling to make a living, but not forgetting that we live here, okay? Let's say, as we go on this show, he might call in, he might send in a message on WhatsApp to join the conversation. But then, without further ado, let me bring to the microphone my guest today, Benjamin Chukwu. Benjamin, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio.
Good morning. It's good to be here. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Let me say it this way. The first time I saw you, 2016,
yeah,
you look, well, I don't blame the people who did not believe you. Because let me say this. The you that I'm seeing right now, you're radiant, you're happy, you're a man at peace. You seem to have purpose. That guy used to look like a beggar. Look like somebody unconvincing, unsure, and you don't even talk with this much confidence. You're a shy guy.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard to see. Once somebody meets you and observes you, you're a very shy guy.
Yeah.
Like my friend Murphy Jemba, but people who listen to him on radio don't even know that this guy is a shy guy.
Yeah.
But when Murphy is off the microphone, he's really shy. He can't even talk to you looking at you in the face. I'm different. I'm different. I've conquered my shyness. I used to be shy, but I've grown past it.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that people struggle to believe your story at the time. So we're going to take it from that rejection, the amount of rejection you faced, then to the time where you make up your mind that, look, I'm going to go do it alone. You started with riding bicycle. You rode a bicycle from Lagos to Abuja.
Yes.
From Lagos to
Accra, Ghana, and
Accra,
back.
Ghana, and back.
Yes.
I mean, you're crazy, but you know you're crazy, right?
Yeah,
Nobody in your
I know.
family told you that you're crazy. You're mad. You don't take a bicycle and you're going to Accra, Ghana, and coming back.
And that's what it takes to be different, because when you are different, people don't understand you. But you really do not have to fit in. Try to be yourself. This life is lived only once. Try to be yourself. That's it.
And share the experience of riding a bicycle from Lagos to Accra, Ghana. How many times did you have puncture tires? How many times did you have issues with immigration? You know, share that experience.
You see, I grew up reading weird books like Guinness Book of Records. Like, I grew up when I was 7 years old, I was reading books like that. So I see a lot of records there and things like that. I said, these things are crazy. Maybe I should try some of them and maybe set a new world record. So that led me into doing some stuff. I used to play football actively, and I had a knee injury. So while I was trying to recover, rehabilitate the knee, I started riding, cycling to take much pressure off the knee. That's a good way to recover.
It is.
And not running on hard surface, because that puts more pressure on the knee. So I was doing cycling. So at some point I started doing long distance cycling. And I read a story about Mark Beamont, who did a cycling tour around the world. And I was really inspired. I said, what would that look like, trying to do that here in Nigeria? And one day I decided to give it a try. And I rode all the way from Owerri to Lagos in 3 days. I was taking pictures, still pictures. Don't know how to do videos. People told me, you should have done that with a GoPro camera and all those things. I couldn't afford them, and I couldn't wait to save all the money to start doing those things. So I said, okay, first of all, let me do it myself to point. I know that, I'm confident I can do this. So even if I want to do it again, then I can now invest in getting some of the equipments to do that. So I did it. I didn't want, not for people to believe in me, but for me to first of all believe in myself that I can actually do this. So even when people tell me, oh, you never did it and all that stuff, I can confidently tell but I can ask myself, did you really do it? I said, yes, I did it. That's asking myself now. So I'm confident that I can do it if you ask me to do it again. So when I arrived in Lagos, I decided, okay, let me try. I met an Indian. His name is Somen Debnath. So if you go to Wikipedia, type in Somen Debnath, SOMEN DEBNATH. Somen Debnath holds a world record of the person most traveled on a bicycle. Yeah, check it out. Somen Debnath. So I took pictures with him. And I followed Somen Debnath on social media and the stuff he's doing. He has traveled around the world, so you can go there and check it for yourself. So I decided to do a cycling tour, cross country this time around. So I picked up my bicycle. I said, let me give it a try. Maybe get to Ghana and back. And I did that in 5 days. Yes, I remember when I was returning into the country, I was stopped by I think the custom officers or something. So they stopped me. They asked me to stop. I came back. They said 5 days ago they met me riding this bicycle to the border, and now they are seeing me riding it back. So what's up with me? I told them I did a cycling tour from Lagos to Accra, Ghana, and I'm coming back. They say, hey, stop there. You must be kidding. So this is unbelievable. Why would you be doing such things?
Yes, Benjamin, listen.
Yeah.
If I was at the border, that's exactly what I would say. You wear so like in worry, in pitching. Oh, but you sure say you wear so everything all right.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. And Enia Banker, his name is Benjamin Chukwu. This is a story you just need to follow. And I know you're also part of media. You need to invite him to your station and have a feel of the story.
Yeah. So they asked me, they called me and asked me to stop for further interrogation. I said, no problem. So when they asked questions, and they were like, "Are you crazy?" So I had to bring out my international passports because I was traveling with it. And when I get to each border, I got to Seme border, it had a stamp on it. And I got to Ilakonji border, I had it stamped. I got to Aflao border, I had it stamped. So when I was coming back, the same thing. So I pulled out my international passport and showed to them, like it was stamped in and out of the country. They were like, "Wow." One of the custom officers said something. He said, "It's unfortunate you are in Nigeria, that Nigerians don't appreciate things like this." They gave me some like they gave me somebody they had on them and encouraged me and said, "Wow, this is unbelievable doing this kind of thing. What do I hope to achieve?" I said, "I look forward to maybe if I have the sponsor to do the fastest ride across Africa on bicycle here from Cairo, Egypt to Cape Town, South Africa." So yeah, so that was the story. And I also did a cycling tour. You were aware of that? What I was sending you pictures. I did a cycling tour from Lagos to Abuja. Then.
Abuja, yes, I was part of it. I was sharing it on social media. So
thank you. But I had a very terrible experience. I was almost killed by a police officer in Abuja. Yeah, National Stadium. Yeah. So they accused me of some things, and I had to explain to them that, look, I'm a Nigerian who is doing this to look at my passport, because I go around my passport and look at everything. So, but they couldn't believe my story. So they almost they treated me very, very, very badly. That's police brutality. I experienced it firsthand. They were really, really, really brutal.
Damaged your bicycle.
Everything. That's like, so
ruin,
I had a very
ruin your whole
exactly. So
experience.
I knew that then. I knew that I was risking my life doing that in Nigeria. I was really risking my life. To the mountaineering,
yes, let's go to the mountain.
Thank you.
There are bad sides to the story. There is also the fact that some honest custom officers looked at you and told you that you're doing something good. But unfortunately, you're from a country that doesn't appreciate this type of thing. I kind of understand that. I don't expect any life's journey to be all smooth, hunky-dory, nice. So when you experience in Abuja, it's part of the human experience. Now, let's go to, after that, some people will just quit and say, "You know what? I've heard from a top custom officer that says that you're from a wrong country."
Yeah.
Meaning that, Tupac said, there's a line from Tupac music. So I'm a diehard fan of Tupac. Like, I could write every script of Tupac's lyrics.
Wow.
But then there's a line that I took out of it. Tupac said, "I was born not to make it, but I did." Right? Your story resonates with the Tupac lines of "I was born not to make it," not like from your family side, but from the country you are in.
Yeah.
You chose a dream that does not work in this country.
Yeah.
First, there are no mountains in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We have a few rocks here and there.
Yeah.
And the rocks that we have, Celestial Church people and prayer warriors whose prayers God does not answer have made it their shrines or their altars. So they don't represent tourist attraction as they are supposed to be. And governments of the states that own those rocks or mini mountains, as they will call it, but they're not mountains, but we just in Nigeria we like to exaggerate things. I've not seen the tourist attraction to it. And when you see somebody who rides a bicycle around the country, I feel people should have come and say, Minister for Internal Affairs, what you do is under Minister for Internal Affairs, Minister for Sport, Youth and Sports, Minister for Tourism,
Transports as well.
Transports, good. So people should have come and say, "You know what? Look at this guy. Let's take him, equip him, let him take a tour around Nigeria and show the world the beauty of our landscape." Take for instance, Bauchi have an incredible landscape. Same as Sokoto, same as Borno, same as Yobe, same as Birni Kebbi. So imagine, for instance, these ministries, the Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Sports, comes together and say, "Look, we're going to give you annual budget of say 100 million naira. But we're going to administer it based on places you go. So we allocate, let's just say hypothetically, 1 kilometer, you get 100,000 naira. But we're going to fix you up with GoPro and possibly get a team of drone to follow you so that you don't just fake it. You don't just enter a vehicle from point A to point B. You have to wear these kits, show us that you're traveling all these meter distance, I judge whether you're moving or not. And then
Yes.
as you're traveling, you're telling stories of the places that you're seeing, how this place is, that place is. Before the 100 million is exhausted, you would have gone around Nigeria.
Sure.
Not because your account will be filled up, but people through your eyes would see Nigeria differently from this whole idea of Nigeria is bombing. They're killing everybody, terrorist state, blah, blah, blah. That wouldn't be the case. So you would have been able to tell us what some new things that you saw in Bauchi.
Exactly.
Some amazing things that you saw in Kano, and the food that you ate, the ones that are good for you, the ones that give you running stomach, all of that. It becomes beautiful content that will also help the creative industry. And I hope that Ali Baba is listening to us today. Maybe you also show up on his station and tell your story.
Good.
But guess what? We are not that kind of country.
Everything rises and falls on leadership. We have not been fortunate enough to have the right leaders in place.
We are bad people. So we always choose bad people. I always say that Nigerians are bad people. On the large percentage, Nigerians are bad people. So I posted something on Instagram yesterday, and it covers Additional. If you're on my Instagram page, you'll see it. Additional is a man who understands agriculture and its economics importance. Okay. Nigerians will never vote for such a person to be president of Nigeria. We will look for the dumbest, the stupidest, the idiotic ones, the morons to vote into power. And then we start getting surprised when they send soldiers to toll gates to shoot us. We start getting surprised when they put draconic policies that makes us not to make progress. We start getting surprised. But we all rallied and queue behind them and call them men of integrity and all that. We are bad people. I always say, I'm not afraid to say, people don't like it when I say this, but it's the truth.
Because they are products of the people.
Yes.
They came from us. They are one of us.
If we wake up today and say, enough is enough, we're not going to back corrupt leaders anymore. They will not be in power.
Definitely.
That's for sure. So nobody should come and give me all this twisted story of, they're using money. No, they're not using money. You are selling your soul to the devil. And Al Pacino said it in Devil's Advocate. When you sell your soul to the devil, you should wear the coat, whatever coat he gives to you. You should wear it. And that's what we face. But let's come to your decision after Abuja happened. And you decided to go gung-ho. This time around, do what nobody from Nigeria has ever done.
I before this cycling, I used to go during preseason, my active years in football, we used to go to hills to train preseason, to run up the hill and down just to build endurance. So I remember we went to Udi Hill in Enugu here, and we climbed, got to I love the view. And I started reading about
I've not climbed a single mountain in my life.
There are just no.
And right now that I have a terrible knee, I'm not sure I will ever have that experience. So that's one thing that I will not regret, because I had enough time to climb it. I've done bungee jumping, I've done skydiving. Now look at me, look at my life. I can't even say I've climbed a single hill. Now look at the mountain.
the skydiving.
Foolish me.
No. Skydiving, those are great experiences. But I encourage people to
That's the day you conquer fear. When you go to do skydiving, that's the day. Fear goes out.
Exactly. That's one thing about them. And when that fear is not there, let me tell you, when you achieve great feats like that, the principles are the same across other areas of your life.
True.
The principles are the same.
I think skydiving was the reason why I was able to set up this radio, because I hold no fear. There's only one thing I fear. I fear poverty right now, but I don't know. I'll conquer it very soon when I have $1 billion in my bank account. But tell me about the mountain, please.
I started with Udi Hill. Then I remember when we traveled to Ghana. So I was able to do Afajato in Ghana. That's the highest mountain in Ghana. I did that and I came down. I was like, wow, that was the greatest thing.
Afajato.
Yes, in Ghana. So, and after that, I wanted to do some other mountains. So I looked around. So somebody jokingly asked me, have you gone to Luma Rock? I said, no. He said, go and do that. And I remember going to Abeokuta to do to do a Luma Rock, and I came down. That was disappointing. I was like, he said, that's not even a mountain. But I love the view when I got to the highest points. I love the view there, because that's one. It inspires me. I love that. So after that, I started. I thought of the next thing to do, and I looked around my map. I saw Mount Cameroon. I traveled all the way from here, but that's by road through Calabar to Cameroon. And when I got there, I got to the city called Boyer, very cold region. And I decided to do the Mount Cameroon. That's the highest mountain in West Africa. That's about should be about 4,000 meters above sea level. I did that. It took me 3 days to get to the summit. Yes, it took me
3 days.
Yeah, 2 days to get to the summit and 1 day to come to descend. Yes. Okay. So I did that. I filmed it, but that was my first time of experiencing that kind of altitude. It was really high, I read a story about Sibusi Suvilan, the first black man to get to Mount Everest, the pinnacle of the world. I read a story, like I told you, while I was growing up, I was reading Guinness Book of Records. Like, I saw crazy things, unbelievable things, like facts stranger than fictions. I was like, could this really happen? So when I act like this, people think, are you crazy or something? I said, I don't know. Maybe because I was reading so much of those things while I was growing up. So I was influenced by most of those things. So I decided to do the 7 summits then. That's climbing the 7 highest mountains in each continent of the world, including Mount Everest. But I said, how would I tell people this story? I mean, how would I explain to people that this is what I want to do? And we're in Nigeria, they ask you, so what's profits are you gonna make, and how do you commercialize these and all that?
Yeah, that's a question everybody always asks.
Dude,
why?
It's a good question. It's a good question, but good enough. Right now, you can always find a way to commercialize what you're doing. You have the social media there. You have to monetize, to find a creative way to really monetize what you are doing. Yes. So I struggled then there is this saying that there is something more difficult than climbing Mount Everest, and that's raising money to climb Mount Everest. Yes, because
yes, I agree.
Yes.
Because if you get an invitation to go play football in Europe, yes, people would support you because they've seen the evidence of what playing football can do.
Yes.
But I want to go climb all the tallest mountains in this world.
Yeah. So whose business is that?
Why? It looks like you're jobless. Mm-hmm. It comes across as if you're jobless.
Yes.
Because especially if you come from the US or Canada or Europe, it's fine. People understand because they are nomadic in nature and then they are adventurous in nature.
Yes.
Africans, we are not, especially the west coast of Africa, we're not adventurous.
Yeah.
We're like comfort zone. We're comfort zone people.
Yes.
And I know how many times I've asked my friends, like, guys, have you done bungee jumping? You hear, God forbid. God does not forbid anything. I said, have you done skydiving? God forbid. No, that's a white man play.
How does that put money in my pockets?
And then these people that are saying will live 100 years and still not have money in their pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things that I've noticed. But I also know that I expect that our sports ministers, our tourism ministers, our minister for transportation should look at people like you and see you people as ambassador. It's good to name ex-internationals as ambassadors of football, but then there are some kind of ambassadorial rule that you people like you needs to get, because everywhere I saw you on Mount Kilimanjaro hoisting Nigerian flag.
Yes, that's 19,340 feet above sea level. That's the roof of Africa. Yes.
Good. On the roof of Africa, you were hoisting Nigerian flag.
And yeah.
Now let's take it further. Cameroon, you went to Cameroon, and then what happened next?
Yeah, when I came down, I did another mountaineering expedition, but this time around is Mount Stanley in DR Congo, self-sponsored. Yes.
So how do you go from Nigeria to Cameroon, Nigeria to Ghana, Nigeria to DR Congo, visa, transportation, logistics? How do you do that? How do you raise the money?
I'm a fitness trainer.
Yeah.
I'm a fitness trainer, so I train. That's how I make money, and also it's a way of keeping myself fit. So it makes me money, it keeps me fit at the same time. So when I get the money, I go for such things, because apart from making money, when we were in secondary school, your geography teacher to tell you things about these things, and I asked myself, so am I going to sit at the place and live all my life and die without seeing some of all those things or experiencing what those things look like? I said no. And I'm the kind of person I don't like I'm telling people, hey, you have to be strong, you have to, try new things, you have to be all those motivational things without experiencing it yourself. Like I can tell you when I'm trying to encourage you, I'm telling you not from somebody who just read something, but from someone who has experienced it myself. So if you're climbing the mountain, or if you want to do some of all those things, I can have that empathy. I can feel what you're feeling because I've felt it myself. I've really felt it. When I was climbing, I had the altitude sickness. That's for the first time, like having such thing. It was difficult for me to breathe. It was very difficult for me. I thought I was losing my life, and I asked myself, what's going on? What's happening? How do I survive this?
You meant artificial COVID on the mountain.
It's
because they say when you have COVID, I've not had it. When you have COVID, you struggle to breathe.
Yeah, okay. I struggled to breathe. I had to open my mouth wide. In fact, if possible, if I can take in air through my eyes, I would have done that because I was struggling to breathe. But there is one thing about when you're going through all these things, when you think of the summits, that's above all things, the passion to get to the summit will keep you going, because your physical body will tend to fail you at times. But when you can imagine, that's where imagination comes in. When you can imagine what it will be, the victory of getting to the summit, you want to keep going until you get there. That joy alone keeps you going. So even from planning here in Nigeria, I can imagine that's visualizing, okay, someday what it will be like to be at the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. Those things drove me through, from having issues at the airports to everything in between, all the difficulties, all the obstacles. That vision I had of getting to Mount Kilimanjaro, the zenith, was what kept me going. So I wasn't looking at the obstacles. Were the obstacles there? They were there. Would I have ordinarily overcome all those obstacles without a vision of where I was going? I don't think so, because the obstacles they were so powerful enough for them to stop me. But I chose not to look at the obstacles, and I kept going. For people who ask me, are you going to make it to Mount Everest, the pinnacle of the world, all the challenges, the money, and all those things? Don't worry. All I need to do is to just visualize, keep my focus right there. And that alone will throw off any obstacle.
I did my research, and they said that at some point you were crying. Somebody told me that at some point you broke down in tears and you were crying. Is it true or is it a rumor?
It's true.
What happened? Why did you break down in tears?
You see, you pass through a lot, and just like you want to build a business, and you don't have money, you're starting from nowhere, and finally you made it. That's tears of, oh, it's not just that you achieved the same way a Olympic gold medalist cries when he or she is being put the medal around your neck. That's the same thing. That's the tears of joy. That's like the athlete is crying not because of anything, but when the athlete remember, for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I've been working hard for this. Oh, it means a lot to the person. It means a lot. That's what actually makes the person a champion. Not the gold medal, not the silver medal. What makes you a champion, it's the process you went through. That process, knowing that you worked for this. It wasn't something, you didn't steal the medal, you worked for it. So
you earned it.
Yes, you earned it. So some people say, why don't you, maybe they could have a helicopter or a chopper just take you there. I say, you're boycotting the process. Bro, the real thing is to go through the process. When you go through the process, it's in you. Even when the medal is stolen, even when the reward is taken away from you, but you know you pass through the process and you know it's part of you. It's you. Yes, and that's what makes you. That's what makes you a champion, not even the medal.
Okay, so your next challenge.
Yeah, my
This one is going to be pretty difficult. This is territory that you've not been to. First off, everything you've been doing is within the African space. So I can
Yes.
understand that visas are not really complicated, even though traveling within Africa could be very, very complicated. I've
Yes,
done
it
it
is.
and I know how difficult that can be. Sometimes it is easier to travel to Europe than to travel within Africa. Take, for instance, if you want to go to Gambia,
Yes.
it takes 6 hours from Nigeria to Senegal. You get to Senegal, it takes you another God knows how long to get to Gambia. Gambia is inside Senegal. Yeah, I never knew that. The funny thing is how I went to Gambia. I heard about the fish in Gambia. That's
Okay.
all that took me to Gambia. No business, nothing. They just said that Gambia have great fish,
Yeah.
and I went to Gambia. But then the process, the fish, I can't remember the taste of the fish anymore because of the stress that I went through. But that's a topic for another day. Or probably when I decide to write my book, When the Hands of God Meets the Hands of Man,
Yes.
I'll be able to explain on that.
I would
on
love
that-
to read that.
on that adventure. But having said that,
Okay.
Mount Everest. It wasn't Mount Everest at the beginning. I know that the name was changed and it was called Mount Everest in the 19th century because of a German surveyor.
Yeah.
I mean, an Indian surveyor, and they named it after him. It's between Nepal. I've been to Nepal, but I've not been to Tibet.
Yeah.
It's between Nepal and Tibet.
Yes.
And
The southern side is in Nepal. The northern side is
it's
on
on Tibet.
Yes.
So it's the Himalaya mountain range.
Region. Yes.
You are going to go through the most difficult terrain on the planet Earth.
Yes.
If you go through China, it's terrible.
Yes.
It's a communist country.
Yes.
Their ways are different. Immigration is different. They are suspicious of everybody. Everybody is a spy.
Yeah.
If you go through India, India have the worst bureaucracy in the world. Paperworks are lost like every minute. So you can even get lost in India. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
And you can't get to Nepal any other way out.
Yes.
Either you go through China, so you come in through Tibet,
Yes.
or you go through India, so you come in through Nepal.
Yes.
So I've not tried to climb mountains before, but I've gone through this region. So
Yes.
I'm just saying, however, all this African trip you've gone to, none of it have cost you past 2 million naira.
No.
Good. This is a trip that if you're going to attack Mount Everest,
Yes.
you're looking at a budget of 10 million naira.
More than
Maybe not up to, but way
Way more than that.
good. So 10 million is your baseline.
Yeah.
How do you plan to achieve this?
Whoa. Honestly, I can't tell because I can't really tell. I hope I get sponsors and or maybe I'm putting up a GoFundMe and see how that will.
I think you
out,
should do
know.
the GoFundMe. I don't know, but it might just happen.
Yeah.
You're not Davido, but it might just happen.
Yeah.
So, but another thing I'd advise you is you really need to do plenty media tour. You have to be everywhere, all and about. Tell the story, repeat the story over and over and over again until Nigerians get engaged in it. Do a lot of Instagram live. It doesn't matter whether it's one person that is viewing you or two persons.
Yeah.
Do a lot of stories. Tell the story to the point where the world listens to you, and be honest about it. Don't try to paint color, beautiful color.
Yeah.
All of the negatives you face, tell the story. You're not destroying the image of Nigeria. It's your truth. Tell your truth. You're going to come to a place where somebody will say, you know what? I want to join this campaign. I want to see you climb Mount Everest. If that's all you achieve for the rest of your life, it's fine. And it would. I remember when we started here, we would do a show from morning to night. Nobody listens because we sit the back and we know nobody listened. Like there was no one person listening. So we end
I
up
guess.
listening from the other offices to like just encourage ourselves. But one day I remember that my team was asking me, why don't we just shut this down? Let's just be doing our short videos and the rest. And I said, no, this is what I want to do. I want a table like this where I'll sit across people and people will share their stories and inspire others. This thing that we are doing right now, this was my dream.
Yeah.
And before I know it, it caught on. People listen to this radio now more than when I was in Brilla. People listen. Like if I'm not on air, I remember I was in the hospital and people sending me message, why you not on air? What's happening? Why? I was like, wow, people, this thing's caught fire. I went to Abuja to shoot my podcast, and everybody was on my neck. Like, hey, Dafe, why are you not on there? What is happening? We're listening to music. We're hearing music. At this time, it's 9 o'clock. Are you not checking your time? I said, sorry, I'm in Abuja. I'm shooting my podcast. Sorry, I announced it the day before. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, the principles are the same across all walks of life.
Sure.
If you conquer fear doing skydiving, you conquer fear climbing mountain, you conquer fear jumping into the river to swim, you conquer fear going into the wild to view and tame wild animal. It's the same thing.
It's the same
thing. The principle
thing.
is the same.
Yeah.
Different event, but the same principle. So
That's
I think
true.
it worked for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to advise you, it also would work for you. But now, you sound, all the stories you've told is sweet. This Mount Kilimanjaro, tell me the country story now. Because people don't even know where Mount Kilimanjaro is.
Yes.
I know it's in Tanzania.
Yes.
Over time, a lot of people have argued that it's in Ethiopia. Some say it's in Kenya. I've heard people say, some say it's in Uganda. But I know it's in Tanzania because I went to Tanzania. I was traveling, trying to see different places. I've actually been to the foot of Kilimanjaro, but not climbed it. Climbing it is not my thing.
Yeah.
Now, what was the paperwork process like?
Okay, the paperwork process. The first time I remember I was with you last year, 2000 and was it 2009, late 2019 or
2019?
19, yeah, and
before the COVID came.
Yeah, before the COVID came. So I was getting ready for to do the Mount Kilimanjaro, but I bought the tickets. I thought it was visa on arrival. So I went to the airport to fly. When I was getting there, they told me, no, it's no longer visa on arrival for people with Nigerian passport, that I have to obtain a visa here in Nigeria. So I had to, cancel the trip. And while I was waiting to get the visa and all that stuff, COVID struck.
Yeah.
So travel protocols and travel things changed. All of a sudden, all those things changed. So I wanted to be sure. You have to go get some COVID stuffs and get yourself tested, vaccinated, and all that stuff. So 2021, I told you I'm a fitness trainer, so I have had clients that I train online. So that kept me very busy until November. I fixed the date. I said I'm gonna fly. So I called my travel agent. I said, find me what it takes to get a Tanzanian visa. So they called me and told me, it's gonna take 15 working days or something to get a visa to Tanzania, and it's e-visa, so I don't have to appear. So I paid, and 2 days after I got the visa, and I fixed the date to fly as well. So when I got to the airport, I made inquiries. So what are the things that are required? I said I have to get the PCR COVID test.
Wow.
Yeah, the PCR COVID test, and at Afri Global. So they said without it I can't fly in, so I can't get into Tanzania. So I got that, and flew straight to Tanzania. Sleep over at Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. The next day continued. So it was it was more than a day. And flew straight to Kilimanjaro International Airport. So, which is in Moshi, the town called Moshi. So Moshi is the town where you have Mount Kilimanjaro. That's the highest point in Africa. There are other mountains there. There are Mount Meru and one other mountain, but I didn't climb. I was there to climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
I mean, why climb the small ones when you can take on the big one?
Yeah. Yeah. I got there. I thought it was going to be that easy. Yeah, I read about it. It was going to be maybe once you're fit, you can just climb. I thought it was going to be that easy. Day 1 of the climb was relatively easy. Day 2 of the climb was easy. Day 3 became more challenging because we're going to a higher altitude now. Very, very cold. It was actually snowing.
Whoa.
Yes, it was snowing.
And you're not used to snow.
Yeah. I'm
Were
in
you
Nigeria.
dressed? Were you kitted up for it?
Yes, I was fully kitted. I was fully kitted because my guide told me all that these are the things, and you have to listen to your guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to listen to your guide. It's key. Follow who know road.
Yeah, make you not go for gutter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if you're the same, when we said the principles are the same, you're building a business, follow who know road. You want to build a business from scratch or do anything at all, follow who know road. Someone who has done it and who is a master, so the person can tell you ahead of time the things you will experience and what you should do when you experience those things. Yeah. So I rented the gears. I didn't buy the mountain gears. I rented them there in Tanzania. So the best gears. I asked them, what are the gears that are required, that are necessary for me to get to this point? They told me all the gears. I rented them for $300 and moved. So day one, like I said, it was easy for me. Day two, as someone who has been climbing before, day two, it was easy. Day three, we got to Kibo. That's the hut. It's called the base camp. So it was snowing, and I had a severe headache because at that altitude, it was cold. It was very cold. Day four, it was time for me to get to Kilimanjaro. What they call Kilimanjaro.
Face your fear.
Yes, Kilimanjaro. My guide walked up to me and told me the things I should expect that night. It was 11:30 p.m. It was 11 p.m. So he prepared my mind for that climb. Say by 12 midnight, I'll be leaving for the summit. So
You carry water, snacks.
Yes, I was carrying. My water got frozen, ice, so I couldn't drink it. I have videos. Yeah.
No, we'll take some of the videos definitely.
Yeah, I have videos. It was just that it was unfortunate because I was going with a guy who can help me do some filming so people can see what it means to be at the mountain. You know, the guy got halfway that night. The guy got halfway. He vomited 12 times. Altitude sickness. Because the higher you go, the lesser the oxygen. So all of a sudden, your brain, you can't get enough oxygen for your brain.
So your brain is no longer sending information to the body.
Exactly. And
So even when you want to move, your brain is not part of it.
exactly.
Car park at owner's risk.
Exactly. So so you don't.
Your brain is saying, I'm not built for this environment. Please go
Exactly.
back down.
Exactly.
Your body is saying, I am not in this space.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are saying, you know what? People conquered the laws of gravity and
Yes.
introduced the laws of lift.
Yes.
People conquered many laws and went to space.
Exactly.
I am going to do it.
going-
And then your body says to you, those people use machine, technology. You are using a body that is not designed for this.
Exactly.
But you're saying, as you're going, you're reprogramming your mind and say, don't worry, follow me.
Exactly.
Trust me, I own this body, you don't own me.
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
crazy. I know how that
That
is.
was what I was experiencing. And at the same time, while thinking those thoughts, I have to now really hike. You have to climb the Rocky Mountains. Like with your trekking poles, you have to dig into, and this time around, we're digging it right into ice.
So is it not like slippery? Is it not cliffish
It's-
where you
it's-
can just slip and then you're at the bottom?
Yeah, it is. It is. It was getting to that point. Like you have to, like you can't see above, you can't look up and see above you without seeing, you can only see the rock covered with ice.
Because now there's body of cloud.
Exactly.
You are not over the earth surface into the cloud surface.
Exactly.
How do you deal with vision?
You have to take it one step at a time. That's the truth. Just one step at a time. Just what is right in front of you.
Is there anything like a guardrail that you can hold on to?
Nothing like that. Nothing like
And
that.
then there are other people climbing with you.
Yeah.
And you know, in the human competitive nature, people might just want to kick you aside so that they get past.
And you don't want to do that at this point. There is this saying that there's something poli in Swahili. They said Poly, poly. They'll keep telling you poly, poly, slow, slow. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do anything that will consume more energy. You want to conserve your energy. Your goal is to get to the summit. So whatever it takes to conserve energy to get there, you have to do it.
Wow.
Yes. So at that point, I had to conserve physical energy. I have to conserve mental energy. I have to conserve emotional and psychological energy to enable me to get to the summit. So my water, like I told you, I had ice. But my guy told me to turn the bottle upside down. Turn it upside down. So when the top is frozen, like when I want to drink it, I had to, turn it up again so I can have a place to maybe sip water, because it was freezing. It was freezing cold. I had frostbite. It was killing. It was really, really, really killing. But like I said, at some point your physical strength will fail you. What will keep you going is the psychological strength. It's the mental strength and the reward of the reward you will get when you finally get there. Take those pictures, hoist your nation's flag, and say, "Wow, I made it. I made it." At that point, you don't want to think of any contrary thoughts. You have to be positive. Yes, you have to be positive. I'm not trying to say people die there a lot, and the reason it's you go past what you can.
A breaking point.
Your breaking point. And it's dangerous, because most people there who are climbing, they are also weak. People they are also exhausted. So not much strength to convey somebody, because you've actually gone past the point. Of course, they warn you that you've got past the point where you get a rescue. So for there to be a rescue in any way, you have to come down to a certain zone for there to be a rescue to come to you. So at that point, you may actually lose your life. And there is a place called Crater. When you are as you're approaching the summit, there's a place called Crater. I think it's about 1,000 meters or something deep, filled with ice. So you have to be careful when you are trying to navigate. You have to be very careful not to lose your balance and
fall into that list.
I mean, it will be something else. It will definitely be something else. And this is, I don't think they have the technology. Even if they do use a satellite phone to put a call across to get a helicopter, before the rescue arrives, it may be too late for you. So the best thing is just you have to be fit. And if your body can't go that further, you'll notice that you've gotten to the point where you can no longer go further. Please start descending. And not just descending to the base, start going down to where your body can, where your body's used to. Yes, it's dangerous staying up there. Whatever thing that happens is dangerous staying up the mountain. Up there, whatever thing that happens to you is dangerous staying there. Because at that point, you can't breathe well. You're tired, you're physically exhausted, you're psychologically exhausted, you're mentally exhausted. That could spell doom. I'm not trying to discourage anybody,
you're saying the truth.
But it's just for you to be prepared, especially your cardiovascular strength. Work on it. Aerobic fitness is key, because even when your body fails.
Can we conclude here now that one of the reasons why you were able to conquer these mountains and other mountains that you've conquered is the fitness part of you? Because you didn't conquer Kilimanjaro just because you put together a 1 year or 2 years plan. You've been on this, more like you were born for this. Again, the words of Tupac comes to play. I was born not to make it, but I did.
Yeah.
Meaning that the odds were stacked against you from the beginning.
Yes.
And so you've been walking against the odds from day one, whether it is riding bicycle from Owerri to Lagos in 3 days, or riding bicycle from Lagos to Accra and back in 3 days, or riding to Abuja and facing all the nightmares, or going to Cameroon, going to DR Congo. You were building up for this. Now, have you built up enough? Or how long will it take you to build whatever it is you need to build to conquer Mount Everest?
Let me tell you something. I have this belief that you can start from nowhere and make it to the top. I don't want to tell maybe when I meet, my younger ones, I start telling them all these things without actually doing it myself, because you'll be the best guide when you have done this yourself, like starting from nowhere and getting to the top. And because this is something I believe that it's possible that you can do, I said, let me use my life. Let me preach let me preach with my life. Yes. And that has it's the motivating factor for me. Like, I don't want to be telling you, oh, you can climb mountains, you can move mountains, and have you been to mountains before? I said, no. What does a mountain look like? No. But if I'm telling you can move mountains, I'm telling you from the point of someone who has actually
moved the mountain,
conquered
the mountain.
Exactly. That's the point I'm speaking from. So, building up for this, yeah, it's a process. It's a process. But I don't want to cut the process. I don't want to cut the process. Is the real thing. Is the main thing. Go through the process, have that experience, so you can look forward and tell Nigerians that yes, this is possible. We can actually start from nowhere and build a great nation. We can actually start from nothing. Stick to the process, work it out, and do great things. You can you can do the impossible. Nothing is impossible.
True.
But I want to do it myself. I don't want to cut the process. I want people, by the time I'm done, it's not just only climbing Mount Everest. Look at what I'm doing. I'm doing what is called the Explorer's Grand Slam. The Explorer's Grand Slam is climbing the 7 highest mountains in each continent of the world. The nation's flag will be hoisted there. And after that, doing the 14 mountains that are higher than 8,000 meters in the Himalayas, and doing a trek to the North Pole and South Pole. I'll write a book on this. I'll document this, and God helping me, I'll hope to show it on Netflix and tell my story to Nigerians. I hope that by the time maybe somebody reads my story or hears my story or something, the person may be inspired to go to explore other planets. And together, true greatness we'll have more and more great people. We'll have great people in Nigeria who are doing fantastic and great things out there. More and more great people will come out from this nation called Nigeria.
Now, with the experience you've gotten climbing about 4 different mountains already,
yes.
Can you confidently take on a novice, and by novice, a rookie, who's also got your kind of ambition, and say, okay, I want to train you. Now you go from, okay, as a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Elegbete One of Sports.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Matthias, calling from Ikorodu.
Matthias, you have Benjamin Chukwu in the studio today, so throw up your question to him.
Benjamin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matthias.
You have done great for yourself and for this nation. your story is an inspiring one. Anybody that listening to your story, with the story of Elegbete One of Sport from beginning, this is a story that people buy ticket to go to cinema or to go and watch. I'm telling you, your story is a scary one, but it's an inspiring one.
Oh, yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
My question is, like Elegbete One of Sport, you travel through the African. I want to go to Mount Everest. For this, with your amount of money you are going to spend, what is your expectation after climbing this mountain and come back? And are you planning with any sponsor to go to this Mount Everest? Because to spend 10 million naira, travel and come back, I know you are enjoying it for your fitness and for the sightseeing, and maybe in the future if you are going to write a book concerning it. So what is your interest, and what is with your gain after you have embarked on this journey and come back? I think that's my question for now.
Bros, it's over to you.
Okay. First of all, this is a feats I would really love to achieve in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I feel what I will gain when people ask me what I will gain, even if not monetarily, what I will gain is the courage. Because when you do stuff like this, when you have a project like this and you are able to do it successfully, there is this sense of accomplishment that you've accomplished something in your life. So when you want to do any other project in your life, you can have a reference of what you've done in the past, and it spills over. That's one of the things. When you look at people who have climbed the mountains and people who have, they have a history of they've overcome something difficult in their life before, so they can use the same, like I told you, apply the same principle in other things. So first of all, it's personal. You get what I'm saying? It's personal to me. Then the other ways you asked if I'm getting us if I'm gonna have a sponsor for this. I hope to get sponsors. Yes, I'm working towards that. You know, if the sponsors come in, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. I love that. And also, if you asked the question about how this is going to turn into commercial. There are ways you can do that. You can be. I'm looking at actually shooting a movie that can be shown on Netflix. Yes, and if it's viewed on Netflix, I mean, I think it's a great thing for me. It's a great thing for me, and that sense of accomplishment, like I told you, will carry over to other areas of my life.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
It definitely would. I mean, the story of 14 pigs is a life-changing story. It's not acted. It's somebody's real-life story.
Yeah.
Too bad that the guy who was filming your Kilimanjaro climb,
it's part of the story. But
altitude sickness, but then you see
I have images. I have still images with my phone. I had to capture with my phone, and the images weren't clear the way I wanted it to be. But I was able to get some things because at that point, my camera, the camera batteries were frozen. The camera batteries were frozen, so I needed to get some. So I turned on my phone, my mobile phone, to get pictures. It was my battery then was 80%, but the moment I brought it out to take pictures, it drained due to that altitude.
So another thing I want to know, like, if a movie production house calls you and say, look, we want to produce a story, want to go through your story again.
Yes.
But we need you to take the bicycle ride from Owerri back to Lagos. We need you to take the bicycle ride practically from Lagos to Accra and back, from Lagos to Abuja, but then we would now have a team following you and then climbing all these mountains.
Yes.
We want to reenact those stories. So you have to go through the process and, catch you up in your gym where you're doing fitness. This is something you would do.
I would gladly love to do that. I want to tell the story. Like, I really want to tell this story.
Because that's the best way the story can be told and locked in. And especially when you can capture human emotions. Now I'm growing from talking sports into movie production.
Yes.
And I'm a rookie. So I'm not in the AY standard or the Alibaba standard or the Mo Abudu's level. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
This still takes a lot of learning and schooling and all that.
Yeah.
Cinematography is not child play. It's not a joke. It's not just sitting in the studio analyzing football. As much as I agree that football analysis is hard, football prediction is like the hardest thing on the planet. There is no science to it, and people think it's a joke when I predict games and it doesn't go in. Like, oh, he has lost it. No,
they said it's like a biscuit. You can break from any.
It's the hardest. I don't know any because any other profession you go to school to learn it. Prediction is the only thing that no teacher can teach you. Nobody can tell you. There's no science to it. There's no art to it. Things changes as the game goes. To be that bold and make the predictions that we make, as hard as that, I think that filmmaking is even harder. So to capture human emotion is a very beautiful thing in movie production.
Yes.
You're open to that kind of process, right?
Yeah, very much open to that. Very, very much open to that, because we need to tell this story. And people have done mountains, people have done great things. You've watched the 14 peaks, but we need to tell the story from the Nigerian angle, from this is our own. You can relate, you can know, oh, this person, I know where this person was coming from. Some of my friends, I remember when I posted it on Facebook, one person told me that I told him this thing in 2014 that I was gonna do this.
That's enough. That's enough gratification for you. Like when the caller called in and said, what is it for you? You've just convinced someone that if you have a dream and you believe in the dream much,
yes,
you can achieve it. That's exactly what you've proven to that person.
Yes.
Make an appeal. Make your own appeal to the people who you hope would sponsor you. Tell them why they should sponsor you, why they should fund your project, because it's no longer a fool's errand. I've seen you go from unconvincing to the mountaintop,
Yeah.
So it's no longer unconvincing. There are pictures, there's evidence that you've done this.
Yeah.
Appeal to the people that would come to your GoFundMe, because I support you doing that. Appeal to the sponsors that will say, you know what, we want you to go, we'll give you 100 million, we'll give you 10 million, we'll give you 1 million, but you have to wear our outfits, you have to wear a shirt with all our logos on it, and every press conference you do for the next 5 years or so, you must mention us. You must say that we made this happen for you.
Yes.
Appeal to them. While you are doing that, Nesta Obi from Canada said, would have called in, but I'm at work. My question is, what does he plan to achieve with this? What is his end goal? Ask a question like a true Nigerian. What's your end goal?
My end goal, achieving this, like I said, first of all, it's an ambition, and there is nothing wrong for you to be just pick up a project, because you come from a place where sometimes you wonder if it's possible to have a dream, like a dream of going global, a dream of starting a Nigerian brand from scratch and it becomes a global brand. These things are not.
That's where I am at.
Yeah, these things are. We just say it's easier said than done. That, like, you look around, no Nigerian brand like has gone there and become global, and you're dreaming that it's not easy. It's not easy. Say, climbing the 7 highest mountains in each continent of the world, going global, hoisting the nation's flag there, it's not easy. So for me, it is just personally the ambition. But if I'm able to do this, and I can inspire just only one Nigerian to do something, to read or hear about me or listen and do something greater than this, I will be very, 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 very much glad. In fact, I'll feel accomplished in life.
So you've conquered the tallest mountain in Africa, then you've conquered the tallest mountain in Congo and the tallest mountain in Cameroon.
Yes.
Apart from, on the horizon there is Mount Everest, which is, half on Tibet, half on Nepal. So India and China, it's a Chinese province anyway.
Yes.
Is there any plan to conquer other smaller mountains like Africa? You still have some other mountains in Africa.
Yeah. For now, what's on my mind is the 7 summits. So the 7 summits it's other continents, so not Africa for now. Not Africa for now. Of course, when you've done the highest, that's the highest of them all. Yeah, you can just do others. Maybe if you want to prepare for higher mountain, or just for the fun of it, or maybe as a group this time around, people who want to do, you can take them, on that.
I was coming to that.
Yeah.
But before I ask that question,
Yeah.
Obi come up again with this question. He said, secondly, there will come a time when he will have injuries. Does he plan for such times? How would he take care of such situation when they come? Because they will come.
Yeah, when you are climbing the mountain and you sustain an injury, your body should tell you, please do not risk going further if you have a serious injury. So just take time. There is no competition in this. People say, let's do a competition of who gets to Mount Everest first. No, don't do that. Do not do that. It's not It's not a personal, it's not a race. Because we all don't have the same cardiovascular strength.
System, yeah.
Yes, we all don't have it. Somebody may have a breathing problem. You don't tell the person, hey, because you want to win something. No, it's not a race. This is about yourself conquering that fear. This is about conquering that, doing something that your mind tells you, oh, something that you're afraid of, just like skydiving.
Yeah, it's not competition. 4 times I've done it. It's not a competition. First 2, I had to swing with someone. The 3rd one, I did it alone. The 4th one, I needed to convince myself that, okay, I actually did that thing alone. Can I do it again? Can I deploy the chute the way it is deployed? And it worked well, and I'm done with it. I could go back again. If I'm in Canada or in the US now. I could go back again. But don't always forget that there's one thing I always say to people: when it comes to skydiving, I will not be able to do it in any African space, maybe South Africa. The first thing I will consider before doing skydiving is how effective is the emergency system of that country.
Exactly.
If it is not effective, not like I'm afraid, but that's like my insurance.
Exactly.
So it's not a competition. I don't want to be the one that did it before you or you did it before. No, it's not competition.
No, not at all.
Now, let's talk about making money from this.
Yes.
Let's say none of the Nigerian government agencies or sponsors come in and you go and conquer Everest. And this is worst case scenario.
Yes.
The movie is not done.
Yes.
Will you be open to do what they call group mountain climbing? People want to climb the mountain, but they can't go alone. They need somebody who's done this thing to be their chaperone.
Yes.
To lead them.
Yes.
And give them guide. And you go from being the person who's climbing mountain to now the guide.
The guide, yeah.
For people.
Yes.
And when they are done, there's a group conversation that is sweeter than a single conversation.
Yeah.
When you're done, you guys cannot sit down with maybe a normal camera like this and you're sitting and telling stories of your experience.
Yes.
And you put it online on YouTube or Instagram, anywhere, and it begins to generate monetizable numbers for you people. Is that something you're open to do as well?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to do that.
All right, so at this point that we've come to the end of the show.
You mentioned making appeal to...
not. Okay, I think you need to do that appeal.
So I want to use this opportunity to call on Nigerian brands that have such values as courage, because when you say you're going to climb the mountains, they say, what if the person dies there? What if look, this is an attempt. We have brands like that encourage passion, courage, attempting something.
Strength.
Yeah, attempting some, even if you don't
I
make
think it's a Red Bull thing. Red Bull could give you wings.
Yeah, they give you wings. Yeah,
I'm doing free advert here.
Companies that share such value, attempting something doesn't necessarily say when you attempt it and don't make it, that's not the end of the world. You can still do that again and again and again and again until you succeed. That's the spirit. You see, this is your story. That's the way life is. Life is not, some people say, and that's why some people say we'll start a business when we are sure, when we'll plan and all this. No, it doesn't work that way.
That business will never work.
It's not going to work.
Take it from me, I know that. That business will never work.
It's not going to work. The reality in life is you try over and over and over and over again until you succeed.
I agree with you.
Yes, so the brands that share such values, please, I'm appealing. Maybe I can still come back on this platform or something. Maybe
I'll definitely have you back. I'll definitely have you back. We've not exhausted this conversation. Yeah. I would definitely have you back. It's your call. Just ring me up. Tell me when you're going to be available. 9 to 10. I'll dedicate the whole hour of the show for you.
I appreciate.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So that's how we come to the end of this conversation with Benjamin Chukwu. But this is the first one. This is the first of many. We're going to have more, and going forward, we're going to be talking about some of the things that he's doing, where you can book him for personal fitness as well. So if you need him to come do personal fitness with you, what are the numbers to call? What's your Instagram handle, your Facebook page, how to reach you? Let's talk about how to reach you as we go.
Okay, you can reach me on my number 08033486892. I repeat, 08033486892. Then on Instagram, I am CBen. I am CBEN
And
on Instagram.
Chukwu Benjamin, in case you're wondering what is C-Ben. Chukwu Benjamin, but short. C for Chukwu, Ben for Benjamin.
Good.
I am Chukwu Benjamin, okay?
Yeah.
So search for I am C-Ben.
Yeah.
Or type Benjamin Chukwu, you'll see the one that is I am C-Ben, and then you follow him, send a message, encourage him, tell him thank you for hoisting Nigerian flag on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's very, very important. You see the pictures, you see some stories about what he's done.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.